Joining us tonight, Congressman Ryan Zinke, member of the House Armed Services Committee. The congressman also spent 23 years as a Navy SEAL, commander of SEAL Team 6. He also served as commander of Joint Special Forces in Iraq. Congressman, great to have you with us. Quite a display last night in the Commander-in-Chief Forum. Hillary Clinton, where that should have been her purview, seemed to me to stumble excessively. Your thoughts?
I agree. Certainly a comment about Iraq, that we're not going to put troops in Iraq. As a commander-in-chief, you never disclose your intention. You keep all options available to you. And it's just the basics. And of course, her comments on Libya. No one can blame Libya except for Hillary Clinton and the president. That's clear. She still refuses to admit that we lost 4 individuals there, 2 of which were my friends, Ty and Glenn. And our comments are inconsistent with what I would think would be a commander-in-chief.
It is persistent. This muddying up everything. Anomalies seem to follow her. Mistakes are part of her DNA now. To say that there are 4 Americans, there were no Americans killed in Libya. She's lied about the circumstances of their death, obviously and clearly. At least that's the way the families of those fallen operators felt. It gets frankly onerous and distasteful and excessively awkward for us all for her to persist in this.
Well, when you tell a web of lies, it's difficult to remember which lie you told. And I think what we're witnessing is, she can't remember exactly which lie. It's so much easier just to tell the truth. But her positions, on as far as being a commander-in-chief, I look at it and it is built on a crux of a lie. And her record as a State Department, as a secretary, what she did very well is tour around the world and raise money for the Clinton Foundation. That is clear.
It's actually, to me, just pathetic when we look at it. And there is no one signature achievement on the part of Hillary Clinton as Secretary of State, no lasting legacy. And certainly this administration and its foreign policy, it's disastrous in every quarter of the world. I want to ask you about Donald Trump hitting generals, talk about them being reduced to rubble, as he put it. Today he tried to make amends. He expressed his regrets for that. Your thoughts about the sentiment, though, about placing failures of military operations on the generals themselves, including, of course, admirals?
Well, what I think was clear is that the rules of engagement, what the generals can and cannot do, has largely been replaced by armchair quarterbacks. Susan Rice, a lot of times, is directing specific operations. And there is an enormous amount of frustration in the troops that they can't fight and win. And I've always been an advocate, if we're going to fight, then fight to win. That make sure the troops have the right training, the right rules of engagement, and the right leadership to win on the field of battle decisively. But a lot of frustration is the generals largely have been stripped of their power, and their advice is not taken.
Well, obviously that would change, Donald Trump says, under his leadership, and we are delighted. I just got to tell you, I don't think I've ever said this to you. 23 years in the Navy as a SEAL, leading SEAL Team 6, the Joint Task Force in Iraq. Thank you for your service, and thank you for being in Congress, because we desperately need men and women with your background, your skills, and talent and intellect. So thank you, Congressman.
Well, thanks. As a commander at SEAL Team 6, I can tell you I always was surrounded by talent, and I was never the best jumper or diver, but I always knew who was, and I always was able to surround myself with committed Americans that were looking at mission and the finest forces I think our country could muster.
Amen. Thank you for being with us.